Hey, comic book fans! Welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Users. We have Kirk here, the third geezer. You've seen him before, and now you're going to see him again when Kirk's got a very special episode for us today of Kamandi, the last boy on Earth, a Jack Kirby story from DC Comics. I personally don't have any of these books.
You don't have any of these?
Don't have any of them. Seen many over the years, but I never really...
That's your thing, huh?
Well, I never really thought it was interesting. So I change my opinion.
I will change your opinion,
Okay.
my friend. I like those end of the world, 98% of the population dead. I mean, obviously I'm a very cheerful guy, but the story I heard about this was that Kirby had just come out of Planet of the Apes. So Planet of the Apes, and said he got the idea for Kamandi, which if you watch the original Planet of the Apes, you can kind of see where he ripped a lot of stuff off.
So it's set in like a post-apocalyptic world?
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy for you to say, right? But yeah, it's and it deals with, like, in the first issue, like, you can see
Hold that up.
that is, I can do the spoiler now because nobody, I think, is if you haven't seen the original Planet of the Apes film after like 40 odd years,
This is the ending. Okay.
Yeah, because he comes around the corner and then he sees the Statue of Liberty and realizes that, it's his Earth and that everything's all messed up. So again, you can see that's where Kirby really kind of took a run at this. Basically it deals with this kid is locked up with like a grandfather figure, and the grandfather figure passes, and then he gets out of the shelter or whatever, and he goes out and starts exploring the world. Most of these books...
Nice cover, man.
Isn't that? It's sweet. Out of all the Kirby books that were started around this time, because, he did New Gods, he did Jimmy Olsen, he did, Mr. Miracle, Kamandi was the longest running.
And how many issues did this go? It was monthly, right?
Yeah, it was monthly. It made it up into the 60s.
Wow, that far. Okay.
Yeah. Whereas the other ones, which I think are great, and those characters are actually much more stuck in the DC universe, this character still pops up from time to time. It's... still like a reoccurring character, but it's not used as much because it's hard. But Mr. Miracle and stuff, that they only had like 18 issues and stuff. So this one really caught on to some degree.
That looks cool. This one looks cool.
Look at this here. These, and you can see like a lot of this stuff is fun because it's 70s too, for whatever reason. A lot of Big Apes books. I love the Big Ape books. I don't know.
Hold this one for a second. I'm going to readjust our lighting. Keep it close.
Keep it close. I'm getting close. Are you getting glare here?
No, I don't think we have enough light on it.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? How's that? Any better?
I think that's a little bit better. Yeah,
All
we're
right.
getting a little bit more of a shine there. A little more
kind
of
of
a pop.
dark to me. So
and I'm going to tell you, these are a fun book.
So it's a good read.
It's a good read. If you love Kirby, I can strongly recommend it.
The covers are awesome. You know what my impression was when I was a kid looking at these? I always thought it was like a little Tarzan boy.
I can see that.
So I don't know. I just never had the appeal, but I always saw them, and it was.
You can get them too at like a really reasonable price. And it's actually surprising is you look at this. One of Kamandi's friends is this girl that runs around, and she's got her hair is conveniently placed, and I was surprised that this made it through the comic code at that period. You think about it, it's kind of
okay.
She's basically topless for the whole series. I was like,
okay.
All right. I just recently went back and revisited these series. I bought most of these just recently.
Oh, you did?
I had like maybe 8 of them in my collection, but then I was like, started reading them. I'm like, these are really good. So I went back and started buying them, and I was like, oh.
And how many do you have now out of the whole run?
Probably about 35 of them.
Okay, out of 60.
Yeah,
okay, so you're getting there.
Yeah, and as I said, they're affordable. Oops. I was getting some of them online for $3 a pop, unless you're looking for like a 9.8. And I mean, if you're reading them for joy, I don't think you need to do that.
World War I airplanes?
Yeah, I say
That's
King Kong.
Yeah, this is kind of weird.
As I said, it's a lot of fun stuff. This looks like something out of Planet of the Apes too.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's got all the president heads. You got Nixon, Kennedy.
Like a Mount Rushmore kind of thing.
Yeah, and you got like the tiger guys jumping out at him in the suits. That's kind of cool.
Definitely cool. And it's so distinctive, the Kirby art.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, he didn't go the whole run. I forget.
He bowed out?
He bowed out, I think, in the 20s. I mean, then he ended up going back to Marvel to do the Eternals and all that.
But this started, what, probably 72 or 70?
Yeah, around that time. 72,
because these are 20-cent books, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if only they were still 20 cents.
Yes. That's what we love about Silver and Bronze Age comics.
Here's another one.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. They say very, kind of end of the world. And then, the other thing Kirby was really good for was, in my opinion, was the big monster. In the early Fantastic Four stuff, you see the Mole Man with the monsters here. Look at this. Nothing like a giant crab creature.
Oh, the giant claw. Yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
That is definitely cool.
As I said, these are fun, and you can get them for nothing.
I like his 4 eyes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to say,
And that's number 21.
I got 2 of this for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somehow I screwed up my numbering, so I ended up buying...
A double?
A double.
It happens.
It happens. It happens more than with me.
More than you care to.
So be organized. Be better than me. That's my advice.
Keep a good list. Huh?
Yeah.
That was number 22. And this is what, 23? It's 27.
27. A little gap there.
I like the yellow in the background.
Yeah.
First one that I've seen with yellow background, which is cool. Nice.
Yeah, the colors are very bright, and as I said, I think that's part of it. Kirby. This cover I like. It's a good one because it brings in the whole, is it because it deals with is this the same planet that Superman and Batman are, and it turns out it is. Now, the Great Disaster, which kind of started everything, they never really tell you exactly what that was all about. So that's
a whole other can of worms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Superman dropped the ball.
So they leave you hanging with that. So they don't go into depth with that part of the...
At least not to the part I'm still actually reading these, to be honest.
Okay.
Some of these I haven't even gotten a chance to read. It's just like...
So you haven't found an explanation as to how the world ended.
But you know what? I still have about half the series to buy and about half of this stack to read. So
that was issue 30.
And then we go to 32. I'm a big sucker. I don't know if you remember these. The giant sizes with the 7.
Oh, this is twice as thick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They were they did 100-page spectaculars, which I love, and the giant sizes, which were, half of it was all reprint stuff, but it's still great stuff. And again, gives you a map, gives you all this stupid stuff that you're like, well, do I really need it? Yeah, I do. I do need it.
But they did this with everybody. The Batman, Superman, the Flash. So that was a big thing for them back then to do that double-size books.
And you kind of what I said, when the regular book was 20 cents or 25 cents, you got 60 cents, you got a double-sized book.
So this was probably during the 25-cent era, because your next one I see here is 25.
Yeah, that's the only giant size out of the whole run.
Out of the whole run, okay. So that was 32. What number is this?
This is 33.
Okay.
And the Professor Dog thing I love, I got to say. And again...
Professor Dog thing. Go on.
I would say, how do you go wrong with that?
Is he his main nemesis villain in this storyline?
No, they're buddies. He's one of the main characters.
Oh, he is? He's part of the supporting cast?
Yeah, he does. He kind of keeps Kamandi in check. He's kind of like, hey, look, shut up and listen for a second.
He's the guiding light.
Yeah. He's kind of like one of the guys who kind of keeps Kamandi from getting himself killed.
He does have a dog face.
Yeah, it's a dog. Not just a face. It's the whole thing. So, but then after a while, he left, and then...
I got to just interrupt for a second. He's a dog that wears gloves. He won't let his paws out. All right. So
then Kubert did, Joe Kubert did some of the issues now. This is at the point Kirby's left the book. And again, they a couple of different people jumped through it, but still good stuff.
But this was Kirby's baby.
This is one of his.
But then he orphaned it.
He orphaned it. Well, back in the day, you didn't have the rights to stuff. You think about it. If Kirby's family had the rights to all the characters he created,
oh man,
dude, they'd be loaded. So same thing with Stan Lee's family. All these guys. Again, our favorite dog is back. So.
Yeah, he looks a little different in this one.
Yeah, he's got his butt kicked a little bit.
Even Kamandi looks a little different in the face. You can see the missing Kirby flair.
Yeah, well, Joe Kubert is a good artist. I like his style. Yeah. His Tarzan was fantastic and stuff, but, this is different. Here, I gotta say, I don't know how many people remember Land of the Lost, but somebody did. Because I gotta say, does that look like a sleeve stack or what?
Yes, it does.
I was gonna say.
Yes, I used to watch that show too. When it was so corny, but I loved it for some reason.
I would tell you, you go back and you watch it, it's even worse than you remembered. But it's fun. It's fun.
The sleeve stacks. If it wasn't for the sleeve stacks, it wouldn't be worth watching.
Oh, you got to. What, Stuff and Puff too? You gotta watch all that stuff again. I'm just saying.
That I used to pass on.
Oh no,
with that little squid monster thing.
Yeah,
that ball of snot with the arms coming out of it.
Yeah. Oh, come on, classic. But all right, and then we got the professor's back, and
what number is this? This is like number 43.
Yeah. So.
Oh, this is 1976 with the bicentennial year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we've got Bugs, which if you're a bug guy, I guess. Bugs, it does about it good, huh?
He's kind of swarmed there.
Yeah,
that's a cool cover though.
I say the covers are cool, and as I said, you can get these for $2-3 a pop if you look around for them.
Until the movie comes out.
Yeah, yeah, trust me. Yeah, the number one is up to like $30. I used to be able to find it in like bins for like $1.
I got
now people are like, oh.
I have to get Demon number 1 first before I jump on.
Yeah. No, that. All right. This is great because it's got OMAG. It's kind of got a thing with OMAG. I like OMAG too, which was another Kirby creation. That book was like, I guess, out of all of his DC books, probably the one book besides maybe Justice Inc. that really didn't kind of catch on. That only ran like 7 or 8 issues, backed up into Kamandi near the end.
This is number 50, and it's a 30 center.
Yeah.
So this is probably 1976.
So you're good with that, man.
That's when they flipped the price.
And the other thing too is they kept saying it was the last boy on Earth, but there was all these other humans on the Earth. I was like, wait a minute.
Well, he's the only boy.
He's the only boy. No, you know. So then it's like, what the heck? So, and then we're up.
And that was 51. So
it's 53.
53. Okay.
Again, creature. You know.
Oh, this one's pretty cool.
Yeah, as I say, if you like big monsters, you like apes with shotguns, you like the end of the world, you like the Planet of the Apes. This is a great series for you. And this one I just got from our buddies at Zap.
Another 30 center, or just 30?
And that's near the end.
This is a 35 center.
And
it's they got the tape over the number, I think. No, that's it right there.
Yeah, it's 56. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely a cool cover.
Oh yeah, no, definitely fun stuff.
Nice. Well, I learned a lot about Kamandi today.
I'm going to tell you, you should go out and buy something.
You did too. Yeah. Kirk, thanks for being here, man.
Ah, my pleasure, my friend.
Good seeing you again.
Oh,
all right, guys. That's going to pretty much wrap up this episode of Comic Book Geezers. As always, Wild Bill saying thanks for being here and your subscriptions and your support. And click that like button. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll always get hit up every time we have a new post. So, Kirk, thanks for being here. You coming back with some more stuff soon?
I got some other stuff I'd like to share.
Such as?
I've got an X-Men run that I'd like to share.
That sounds cool.
And we're going to discuss a little bit of the current King Arthur, Camelot stuff. I think, a little bit offbeat.
I didn't know they did comics on that. I'm looking forward to that. Guys, I know you are too. I'm Wild Bill, as always, saying thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.
Later.